When I was the manager of a makeup store, I found out that our associate that we were relying on to train all of the new hires, the associate that had been there the longest, was getting paid less than the new hires. He was getting paid less than everybody in the whole store, and I confronted the general manager about it. Let me tell you what happened. So I am working the truck alongside one of our sales associates, Alex. He's a full-time student, and he had been there longer than any of the sales associates on the floor. Alex and I are the same age, so we always go chippy chippy yah anytime we're working together. We're always talking about something. I had just hired like 4 new people, and Alex was the one that like we really relied on to train all of the new hires. So I'm talking to Alex and I'm letting him know like, oh, we just hired all these new girls. This is when they're gonna start, blah, blah, blah. I hired these new associates, so I knew how much I'd hired them for. So in conversation, I don't remember exactly how it came up, but Alex and I start talking about how much money he makes. Alex started working there before I ever did. I was not involved with the process of hiring him. I never knew how much money he made. So he tells me how much money he makes, and it is $1.75 less than everybody that I just brought on. I completely fucking froze when he told me how much money he made. Cause what do you mean you're making almost $2 less than all of these people I just brought in, than all of these people that I have brought in, and you're the one that we are relying on to help us train these new people? How are you getting paid less than the people you're training? When the GM gets there, I go to her office and I tell her, hey, you know, I just had a conversation with Alex and he told me he's making $1.75 less than all of these people we just hired. Casually, she just puts her stuff on the counter and she's like, yeah. I go, you knew? And she goes, yeah, I know. Like it's nothing. I tell her, he trains all of these new people that are coming in making more money than he does. She flails her hands up like as if I completely did something wrong. And she goes, what do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? She tells me that he has received raises since he's gotten there. And when he was hired, he accepted the money that he was offered. So it's his fault that he's making that much money. If he wanted to make more money, he should have asked for more. And that's crazy because when my best friend Alyssa and I started there as sales associates, we asked for a certain amount of money and she gave each of us $1 more than we asked for. I told her straight up, this is wrong. He can't train people that are making more money than him. This is wrong. She starts talking to me like I'm stupid and she goes, what do you want me to do? Give him a raise? Yeah, that's like the least we can do. With a big old attitude, she tells me if I give him a raise, I have to go and give everybody in the store a raise. I can't just give out raises. Her and I have been going head to head for a while at this point. Like we would have been arguing a lot. I told her you wouldn't have to give the whole store a raise because he makes the least amount of money of anybody in this store. I said at the very least, he needs to make what the new hires are making, but that's not fair. He's been here the longest. He's training people. She tells me we don't just give out raises in the middle of the year, that he has to wait until his annual review, and based on how his review is, that's how much money he's gonna get. He had been there so long that he has already had a few annual reviews. So if he's good enough to train people, how have those annual reviews not allotted to making at least what the new hires are making? He loved his job. He was really good at his job. And I'm like so frustrated at how she's behaving. So I tell her just straight up, what if he finds out he's getting paid less than everybody in the store? She goes, who's gonna tell him that? If someone tells him that, there's gonna be consequences. I said consequences because I was alluding to, I was gonna tell him straight up, you're making less than everybody in the store. She tells me it's against company policy to talk about how much you make, and he can get in trouble just for telling you how much money he made. Okay, so you're not even threatening me. You're threatening him. The person we rely on to train all of our new people, you're threatening him? I'm fuming and I walk away. Alyssa comes in, my BFF, also another manager. She comes in and I tell her everything that I just told you. And she's like, dude, what the fuck? And then Alyssa tells me, remember when we got hired? Because Alyssa and I got hired at the same time, right? We came together. She goes, remember when we got hired? She told us not to tell anybody how much money we made because it would start some problems. Because when we started, guess who trained us? Alex. So 2 of the new girls start on the same day, right? And the general manager lets Alex know, okay, you're gonna train these girls today. So he lets me know, oh, hey, I'm gonna be training the girls today. I was like, okay, cool. And I go to the manager and I'm like, hey, we really cannot rely on him to train people that make more money than him. Like, this is completely wrong. She is pissed. She screams at me, what do you want me to do, Brittany? I tell her again, I want you to give him a raise. She emphasizes again, we don't give out raises in the middle of the year. And I was like, there's no way. There is no exception to policy. There is no way. We rely on him heavily. I tell her, call the area manager and see if there's anything she can do. The area manager is her boss. Also happens to be her best friend. Oh, that's quite an assumption to assume they're best friends. She told everybody that that was her best friend. They called each other best friend. She goes, I am not bothering her with this. You have to let this go. I just have this guilty knot in my stomach. How can we function knowing how is this okay? This is not okay. You don't want to pay him fairly? At least lighten his workload. He's good at his job. So of course we wanted him to train people. If he's that good, why not? Why can't we pay him more money? Like I couldn't understand why that was so hard for her to understand. The area manager, her boss, comes in for a visit. The area manager is in the back by herself. I have my moment. I ask her straight up, can I talk to you? She's like, yeah, what's up? I tell her basically, I found out that Alex is making the least amount of money in the whole store, and he is such a great associate, and we rely on him so much. And is there any way we can work on getting him a raise? Because we shouldn't be paying him the least amount. He should, at the very least, make the same amount of money as everybody else. Immediately, without even having to think about it, she goes, so you thought your best course of action was to go over your general manager's head and come straight to me? I said, no, I already spoke to the general manager about it. I told her, basically, she said that we don't give out raises in the middle of the year. The area manager softens a little bit, and she just asks me straight up, do you really think he deserves a raise? The fact that I have to fucking justify this 8,476 times. He's been here the longest, and we rely on him to train new people. Yeah! He deserves a fucking raise! She just goes, I'll look into it. I can't promise anything. I'm just gonna look into it. Okay, that's all I can ask for. Look into it. That's more than the fucking GM says she wanna do. So a week goes by and I haven't heard anything. We have a manager meeting, and once the GM is done talking, she asks us if there's anything that we have any questions or any concerns that we wanna bring up. Oh yeah, I got a fucking concern. I asked her, have you heard anything from the area manager about Alex getting a raise? It's a manager meeting, so all of the managers are there. The general manager is pissed. She goes, why would the area manager say anything to me about Alex getting a raise? The two other managers that are there, this is the first they're hearing about this. So they're asking straight up, wait, why does Alex need a raise? What's going on? The GM goes, Brittany, let it go. She had some bass in her voice. She was fucking furious that I had brought this up in front of everybody. I told everybody there, Alex is making the least amount of money out of everybody in the store, and we're expecting him to train all the new hires. The two managers that are hearing this for the first time whip their heads to the general manager, and they're like, he's making the least amount of money of anybody in this store. They're shocked because of how much we rely on him. One of the managers asks her straight up, why hasn't he received a raise large enough to like compensate for the fact that he's been here so long? Cool as a cucumber, she tells us that his raises have been based on his performance. Absolutely wild, since we rely on him for so much. The other managers are starting to ask her questions, and she cuts them off and she goes, you went above my head? I said, it is wrong for us to rely on him to train people that make more money than him. If nothing could be done, the area manager would have told me the same thing. She told me she would look into it. If nothing could be done, she would have said that. She starts going off in front of everybody that I am the most disrespectful manager that she's ever had. So her and I start arguing, and I was like, you weren't helping me. This is wrong. She's like, I can't believe you went above my head. You're lucky I don't write you up for this. I've been starting shit since 1842. You cannot fucking write me up for going to somebody about an issue I felt like my superior wasn't handling properly. That's called retaliation. She's yelling at me, but I'm thinking to myself, she didn't know. She didn't know I went to the area manager. That means the area manager didn't tell her, which means the area manager agrees with me. From our shared email, I messaged the area manager like, hey, I just wanted to follow up. Are we going to be able to give Alex a raise? A couple hours later, she emails me back letting me know that she might be able to do something, but she's going to talk to our general manager first. She did all of this investigation, leaving her out of the loop. Even though they best friends, the area manager also agreed that this was wrong. The next day, the area manager gives me a call. She lets me know that we are going to be able to give Alex a raise, and it's going to be in effect the next pay period. I ask her, can I tell Alex? And she says, yeah, you can tell him, but just make sure you let him know that everybody was involved, including the general manager, in getting him this raise that he deserves. And as much as that irritated me, this wasn't about me. This was about Alex. So I got to tell Alex that he was going to be the highest paid sales associate in the store. And thank you so much to Alex for giving me permission to share this story.
I held off on doing this for a really long time because I was afraid to. But I think enough time has passed that I'm ready to start talking about some of the things that happened with this person. So I'm a theater kid. I have always loved both watching and being in musicals. My favorite musical at the time was Waitress. I was absolutely obsessed with it. I would look up like the slime tutorials for it on YouTube all the time, and I would listen to the soundtrack every single day on my way to work, because if I was in my boyfriend's car, I wasn't allowed to choose the music because he didn't think that passengers should get to choose the music. I had moved my entire life and gotten a new job just for this person I was in a relationship with. My new boss came into work one morning and let me know the Broadway cast for Waitress was touring. They were coming to Eugene like that weekend, and she had 2 extra tickets. So she gave me these tickets and I was over the moon excited. Like, this was the first Broadway show I was going to be able to watch. Like, this was a huge deal for me. And at that point, I knew that my boyfriend did not like musicals at all, and he definitely didn't like the Waitress soundtrack. So I told him that I was going to ask like one of my other theater kid friends who would be over the moon to go to something like this. But he said I couldn't do that because he had a rule for me that if I was going to do something with a friend that was not him, I had to give him at least like 24 to 48 hours notice. Otherwise, I couldn't do it. I figured that because he didn't want me to invite any of my friends to go to the musical with him, that just meant that like he wanted to go on a date with me, and this would be like the perfect reason to go on like a cute little date together. I was still really excited, even though the experience would probably be better with somebody who really enjoyed musicals and knew about Waitress. If you've ever been in a relationship with an emotionally abusive person, you know that like they just get extremely agitated the moment the agenda falls out of their control. My ex wanted to dictate what my schedule was, and if he couldn't, he had to know every single detail of it like way in advance so that he could like emotionally prepare for it. He said it was just because he was autistic and he had like a very rigid routine. So I woke up on the morning of the musical and I was so fucking excited. But of course, that excitement could only last for like 30 seconds because the second I roll out of bed, he starts soft launching being sick and being like, So I'm letting him know, like, Broadway musicals are pretty long. We're gonna be in there for a while. And he starts like huffing and puffing and being like, oh, I don't feel very good. I don't want to be like sitting for that long. And I was like, we still have time. I can still invite somebody else to go with me. And he's like, no, like I said I was going to do this. We're going to do this. The whole drive to the theater, he's like moaning and groaning about how he doesn't feel good and he's feeling kind of feverish, and I tell him to take a Tylenol and he says no, he doesn't want to take a Tylenol. We get to the theater. I'm literally giddy with excitement waiting for like the opening notes of this show to start, and like we're sitting in the silence, and this whole time he's like fake coughing into the silence as like this whole crowd of people is waiting for the show to start, and I can tell that they're not real coughs. He's just disrupting everyone in the theater for no fucking reason. The entire time the first half of the show is going, he's on his phone, checking the time, leaning over, asking me how long it's gonna be till it's over, asking how long it's gonna be till intermission, telling me he doesn't feel good, telling me he's bored, telling me he wants to go home and lay down, telling me he wishes that I would have told him just how long it was going to be and how boring it was going to be before we came, as if I didn't give him like multiple opportunities to say no to this entire experience and not fucking ruin it for me. And the second intermission starts, he gets up and tells me that he can't do it anymore. This is too boring. He doesn't feel good. He thinks he has the flu. He needs to go home and lay down because he's worried that he's going to start throwing up. Like, can you go wait in the car at least so that I can at least like finish watching the musical? And he says, no, like he needs to go home and lay down right now because he doesn't feel good at all. And he's not going to be well enough to be able to come back to the theater and pick me up, even though I didn't have any money for an Uber and the buses didn't go to his house. So there was literally no way for me to get back to his house if he left me there at the theater. And so finally, I don't know what else to do because like I'm doubting myself and wondering, is he actually sick? Like, am I looking like an asshole right now? Because, like, I don't want to leave with my sick, dying boyfriend. And this whole time I'm, like, fighting back tears because I've wanted to watch this musical for so long. It's my favorite musical. Every single time I cried in response to anything he did, I got in huge trouble and he would start yelling at me for using my emotions to manipulate him. And so I told him, like, I need to, like, go somewhere away from you to regulate my emotions. And he was like, no, you don't need to do that. Why don't we just go to my favorite Mexican restaurant? Because I'm feeling kind of hungry. And I was like, didn't you feel like you were gonna throw up like not even 5 minutes ago, which is why we left in the first place? And he was like, well, I'm feeling a lot better now. I think I just like needed the fresh air, and like now that we're out of there, like I feel so much better now that I know it's over. So you weren't sick the whole time. You just like didn't want to be there anymore, and now you want to go to your fucking favorite Mexican restaurant? Actually, like, now I'm just pissed. I'm gonna go to my friend's house, and he tells me that I can't go to my friend's house because I didn't give him 24 hours notice before I was gonna go, and he will break up with me if I go to my friend's house. So what do? I go to my friend's house anyways. What does he do? He breaks up with me via text message. But clearly the story does not end there because I stayed with him for another 3 years. But that's an entirely different story. So let me know if you want a part 2. Because I have 4 years of bullshit that I haven't told anybody.
So, like, I'm engaged. Let's just do a little FaceTime chit chat. Let's talk about the day and how it happened, because I was so shocked. I had literally no idea. Here she is in all her glory. My boyfriend and the jeweler, pardon me, my fiance. God, that's gonna take forever to get used to. How long did it take you guys to get used to saying that? Because I'm not used to it. My fiance and our friend over at Golden String who helped design this custom ring were like stumped on what I wanted, because I was apparently not being clear enough to my boyfriend. I would just like send him whatever I thought looked good, because I did not think I was getting engaged for like another year. I didn't have like a direct plan. All I knew was that I wanted a custom Dutch marquee. Boy, did they deliver. I just wanted a fat rock with some beautiful prongs. Basic, simple, gorgeous. I'm obsessed. Okay, now let's stop being vain and get to the fucking story. I have known my fiance for almost 4 years. Obviously, we live together. We have 2 beautiful children together. I mean, I knew engagement was in the future, but just like not on this trip, okay? Was not on my radar. We had planned a 2-week trip in Europe. The first leg was going to be in Mallorca, Spain, which we'd never been to before. We were just so excited. We were staying in Palma in the south of the island of Mallorca. And apparently he tried planning the engagement down there, like a beautiful dinner. I'm all done up. He gets a photographer, blah, blah, blah. And then it just all fell through. Nothing was feeling right for him. So he was like, scratch it, whatever. I'm going to figure it out. Lucky for him, we had a boat ride booked in the north of the island, like a couple days in to the trip. We had met this super sweet tour guide named Nils, and he knew the entire island like the back of his hand. He's been living in Mallorca for many, many years. Thank God we met him, because Nick messaged him on WhatsApp and was like, what is a good spot on the north of the island? I need something beautiful, picturesque, scenic, not too touristy, because that was my one requirement for engagement. I told Nick, I said, if it is a public engagement where strangers are taking pictures of us during our big intimate moment, I will want to die. I said, I don't care where, when, how, just don't make it public, please. I really want to try out this new MAC eyeliner that they gave me. Oh my goodness gracious, holy shit. Let's just go with the basic black. So yeah, I was like, just don't make it public and cheesy. And also, like, I would prefer to have my hair and makeup on, preferably. But again, didn't think it was happening this year. So the morning of, keep in mind, to my knowledge, we were going on a little bit of a hike up a mountain, a long drive, and then a boat day. So I originally dressed like this. I just wanted something to cover up my bikini, okay? And my boyfriend was being a little bit like extra pushy about me wearing a dress. He literally held up my white dress up to himself and he was like, you should wear this. You should try wearing this today. What if you wore this? This would be pretty. We're taking pictures on the top of a mountain. It'd be pretty for content and whatnot. One thing about me, if you tell me to do something, I'm gonna wanna do the opposite. Don't tell me what to do. And I was like,
what the f? No, I'm gonna be wearing my jorts and my tank top. Thank you very much.
And in order for me to do something, you don't tell me what to do. You kind of have to like bully me into it. My boyfriend was like, Katie, I'm going to be honest, in pictures for your content, this outfit looks like shit. At least wear this top. And he threw my white poncho at me and he was like, fine, that's good enough. Let's go. We're running late because we had to go pick up our car that we booked. So we made our way over there. We drove like an hour up north of the island. And I straight up thought that Nick just like found this really pretty lookout point up north while we were there that we should go see. Maybe he found it on TikTok and just found it very pretty. I said, sure, okay, whatever, let's go. That's exactly what we did. We were driving our merry way up the mountain. Yeah, so little did I know that amazing tour guide that we had met, he gave Nick like the most secluded, non-touristy spot at the top of like the highest point in Mallorca. When we had gotten there, it looked very touristy and I thought nothing of it. I was like, oh, this is fine. Like, let's just get out of the car. And Nick was like kind of going, wait. And he's checking his phone to see the coordinates because he was like, this isn't right. He was so locked in on getting to the top of that mountain. And I was like, okay, the view must be so worth it, apparently. Let's, whatever, let's just go. So we kept going up the mountain, basically off-roading. I was low-key scared because this mountain had like no railing. It was a one-way road, complete dirt. We were just driving this rented Toyota Yaris. But we did find our way to the top of that mountain. We parked our car. I really had to use the restroom. So I was kind of like, okay, babe, let's get the pictures and let's get the out of here to find a bathroom. Thank you. We get out the car, we keep walking to the highest point and it's like 90 degrees. I'm thinking, damn, I'm so glad I wore the comfiest freaking outfit I could have. Wow, I'm so clever. Obviously, I do content for a living. So like, if anything, I was the one who initiated like bringing out my tripod camera and taking pictures, self-timed pictures at the top of the mountain. So I had set up the tripod because I wanted some damn pictures. That's insane, just like seeing myself wearing a ring. Sorry, I'm not over it yet. Although I do remember we snapped a couple of self-timed pictures and when I looked at them, my first thought was, oh my God, I've literally never looked worse. I'm probably not even gonna post these pictures. God damn, the jorts will go down in history. Lesson number 1, in my partnership, I should listen to him more often because sometimes I'm not always right, okay? I was like, oh God, okay, I look terrible. Can we get another one? Can you turn the self-timer on again? He's a clever man. He changed the self-timer to video. And the rest is history. I mean, y'all saw the video, so go watch that if you care. But he always made it very clear, like, you're never gonna know. I'm gonna make it a complete surprise and you're never gonna know. You're gonna be so gagged. And I was like, yeah, right. I'm so gonna know. Girl, not a damn clue in my mind. I'm just not an emotional person. I'm a Capricorn moon. I don't cry. I don't do all that. Ever since I like fell in love, whenever I watch proposal videos of other people, I lose it. I'm bawling my damn eyes out, dude. And I've always thought, oh my God, when Nick proposes to me, I'm gonna be a wreck. The prophecy came true. I was a mess. Actually, thank God I didn't wear makeup. And thank God he didn't hire a photographer or anything. It was just such a special and a raw moment between us. I loved everything about it. He said he had this whole script that he just like didn't get to because he choked up and I was like, hey, me too. I'm not even mad at you about it. He gave the whole basic script of like what you should say when you propose to your girlfriend. So it was amazing. I also haven't tried the re-release version of this Too Faced Peach, what the hell? Peach Perfection powder. What the fuck? Is this even sanitary? Oh my God, no, this is such a nostalgic smell, dude. And I was so in it in the moment, like sunscreen running in my eyes, stinging because I was bawling my eyes out, hyperventilating. I technically didn't even say yes for way too long. I was doing that type of crying where you're like couldn't even catch my breath. So he was on his knee forever and then he stood up and he was like, so is it a yes? And I was like, oh yeah. By the time I gathered myself, said yes, I actually looked down and saw the ring and then I was like, like it was the exact ring that I wanted. Oh my, I'm gonna cry again. What's even crazier is when we were coming back down the mountain to leave and to go on our boat ride. At the bottom of the mountain, they were stopping people from coming up because it had like hit capacity. So had we not last minute booked our rental car an hour in advance to drive up an hour earlier, we would have never had that moment. So the universe was really on our side that day, man. Another hilarious detail, I remember right before the trip when I was quickly doing my nails here in my room, he was like,
why don't you go get your nails done? You haven't gotten your nails done in a minute.
Still didn't cross my mind. Still didn't know a damn thing. So yeah, she's engaged. One thing that I found really weird about when you're engaged, the first question everybody has for you is, what are the plans for the wedding? What are the plans for the wedding? What do you think you're gonna be doing for the wedding? Like, are we like, why are you in a rush? Why the Are you in a rush for us? That's such a weird question. I don't know. So many people immediately ask me that, and I'm like, bro, can we not enjoy being engaged for like a couple of years? Is that weird? Is that weird? I'm starting to think that we're weird for not wanting to have a wedding for like another 1.5 to 2 years. Isn't that a normal timeline? Don't get me wrong, I'm so excited to have my small little wedding, do my makeup for my wedding. But for now, I'm just enjoying being an engaged woman, you know? I feel like I'm gonna edit this back and be like, oh my god, that was the most ADHD way to tell the damn story. Nonetheless, it is still my favorite story to tell.
Story time on how my dad caught me wearing makeup, and yes, girl, my dad still doesn't know I'm gay. But before we start, y'all better go grab your snacks, because we're gonna start from the beginning to end. So this was literally back in 2023, November. Literally close to December. Whenever I would always get out of school, my dad would always pick me up at the park, right? Because like if he goes into the school and picks me up in there, there's like so much traffic, right? So usually when he would pick me up from school at the park, we would always go straight home, because girl, I don't want to go anywhere else. Like I just want to go home and eat. I'm hungry. And like how I just said, this happened in November. So like in November, people start decorating for Christmas. They start getting the Christmas trees. I mean, we do that. Like y'all, we decorate for Christmas hecka early. I don't know about y'all. And so when my dad picks me up, you know, he goes a different way. And I'm just like, Dad, where are we going? Like, you know, where are we going? And he was just like, oh, don't you want to go get the Christmas tree? And I'm just like, no, I don't want to go right now. Like, can we go on the weekend or something? Because girl, on the weekend, you know, I don't have makeup on. I don't have nothing on. So when I told him that, he was just like, no, let's go get the Christmas tree right now. Like, I'm not gonna go back home. We're gonna get the tree right now. And I'm just like, oh my god, okay. We're on our way to the store getting our Christmas tree. And I'm just like, nothing's gonna happen. Like, I don't think he's gonna care I'm wearing makeup. Like, I don't even think you can tell I'm wearing makeup, even though you could hecka tell. Because, girl, back then, I used to wear bright concealer. My nose contour is so wide. Girl, it was bad. And I would also do big, thick, dark brows. Y'all, I'm not even kidding. Let me find a picture right now. This is literally how I used to have my brows. So dark, so black. Oh my god, it was a mess. So I just kept telling myself, you know what, if my dad saw me with those big brows, I don't think he's gonna say anything about my makeup, you know? And so we arrived to the store, right? We get out the car. We're walking to the trees, and he still doesn't see my face, right? And so we're still looking for trees. And then he was like, I don't know how to say in Spanish, y'all, because like, no shade, I'm a no sabo. So I'm gonna just say it in English. He was just like, look at me again. And I'm just like, what do you mean? And so when I turn around, I'm just like, what? And he was just like, do you have makeup on? And I'm just like, yeah. So he was just like, why do you have makeup on? Like, when we get to the house, I want that thing taken off right now. You better go to the bathroom and wash it off. And I'm just like, but why? It's just makeup. And he just kept yelling at me, and I'm just like, in my head, I'm just like, oh my god, we're gonna cause a scene. Like, oh my god, he needs to stop. And the whole time he was yelling at me a little bit, girl, he was cussing. I'm just like, oh my god. I don't remember if we even went home with the tree. I don't remember if we got it. Girl, I don't remember. And so we're getting home. As I'm getting out the car, he was just like, you better go take that off right now. Go use a lot of soap. Take that off. And I'm just like, I didn't even talk to him back because like, girl, oh my god. Then after all that happened, I took off my makeup. You know, he's not really talking to me because like he's mad. I'm just like, ugh, you know what? Okay, I don't care. We weren't really talking to each other for like a couple days because girl, he was just mad, but it's whatever. I feel like now my dad doesn't really care what I do now. Like, I feel like I could walk out this room with a little bit of makeup and he was just like, you know what? I don't know what he would say. Like, I do be wearing a little bit of makeup, but like you could barely even tell, y'all. Like, I be wearing like the glowiest, littlest makeup. I just feel like my dad's kind of getting to that point where he's just like, you know what? If he does makeup, if he does girly stuff, you know what? I don't care. I feel like he's getting to that point. I don't know. Because you guys, I literally have lashes all over my bathroom. And like, my dad kind of goes in my bathroom to like clean it sometimes. And girl, I have like a, what's it called? Something on the wall to put like all my stuff. And I have lashes on there. And I think he's probably saw them. So, I don't know. Like, I kind of don't want to come out to him yet. Because like, I want to have a plan. Because like, what if something goes wrong, you know? Like, I don't just want to tell him without having a plan, you know? I still need to come out to my mom. The only ones who I've came out to is my two sisters. And I still need to tell my other sister. But like, girl, I'm just not ready. Like, I need to tell them, but I want to take my time. If you guys have any good advice, so I can come out to my parents, y'all, just like, let me know. Because, girl, it's like, it's really scary. And like, girl, I'm just scared thinking about it already. And like, girl, I have Hispanic parents. You know how they be. Alright, guys, these as makeup came out. What y'all think? I think it came out pretty good. Base smooth. But that was the story time, you guys. And was it interesting? Yeah? Thought so. But anyways, y'all, I'm gonna see you on the next one. So, bye, y'all.
I used to work for the worst doctor ever, and he ended up getting arrested. So get ready with me while I do a story time on how terrible this man was. First things first, I'm gonna brush my hair so we can retouch my curls with the spray. But basically, y'all, let me tell y'all the tea. Let me start you guys from the beginning. It's been almost a decade. Actually, it's been a fucking decade since I worked for this man. So I was very young and dumb, okay? Keep that in mind as I'm telling this story. Did not want this job for the life of me, y'all. I didn't think that I was fit for it. I just didn't believe in myself. I was very insecure, and I just didn't think that I would do good at this job. Because to me, it was like the medical field, so I was really nervous. I've never had like a serious job like that. Next step, y'all, I brushed my hair. I'm looking like Hermione Granger. So let's use this water. They come out of breath because I ran up the steps, okay? I have a spray bottle with just water, so I'm gonna just wet my hair everywhere so we can retouch. Treated people, especially his staff and shit. And on top of that, let me tell y'all, when someone would come in, they would pay for their fucking x-rays to get done or whatever through their insurance, right? This bitch, when they wanted a copy of their records, he would charge them, bitch. Done wetting one side, I just crimp it like this. I know people say to use a shirt, but honestly, I'm lazy, so my hands will just have to do. Who had to tell the patients that there was a charge to get their own x-rays that they already paid for, that it was gonna be $50 to get your own records? What the fuck type of shit is that? Let me know. So little old me, I was like, that's flaw. So I would literally say, hey, he's trying to charge you for the x-ray, so meet me downstairs and I'll bring you your x-rays. By the way, a lot of people have asked me for my hair routine. I put no type of products in my hair, y'all. I really should, but I just don't. This is it, y'all. I just fucking retouch it with water, or I'll come straight out the shower and that's it. I'm done re-wetting my hair. Now I'm gonna put my hair back so I can do my foundation. I have my little clips to clip my hair back, so let's do that, y'all. So we can do my foundation. Boom and boom. Okay, boom, my hair is pinned back, so let's start my foundation. Just re-wet my beauty sponge. I'm gonna go in with this. Oh, by the way, today I'm getting ready for a sister's day. Me and my sisters are gonna go out and eat, chill, do some activity. He was such a pervert, y'all. He would make pervy ass jokes to me, to the staff. Like, he never did it to patients, but he would do it to like the staff and stuff. It was really inappropriate. I remember this one time on Halloween, I dressed up as fucking Harry Potter, y'all, and I was wearing leggings. This man, he saw I was wearing leggings, but I fucking put a long ass cape to cover my ass. This mother said, Carrie, can you come real quick? And I'm like, okay. And he's like, come to this room real quick. I'm like, okay. Thank God he left the door open, okay? He literally told me, he's like, hey, can you do a little spin? I said, can you lift up the cape and turn around? Swear to God. I said, come again, bitch? What the fuck? I was like, absolutely not. I cannot do that. And then I walked away and but my dumb ass still stayed, y'all. Like, who the fuck does that? I was so uncomfortable, y'all. And like, I still stayed because, like I said, I was young and dumb, and I just didn't think I could get like a better job or anyone would hire me, which I wish I knew that I really could have, you feel me? Because I really was going through a lot at that job and I hated it. I'm gonna go in with some foundation because my skin looks rough and this is not doing it justice. So I'm gonna go in with a little foundation, not too much. I would never in my life put myself through that again. This man would not let me take vacation. And what did my dumb ass do? I listened to him. I didn't take vacation because he would threaten my job. And I was such a pussy back then. I was a completely different person back then. I was such a pussy. I never spoke up. I was constantly like just scared to lose my job. I'm going in with Tarte concealer. But yeah, y'all, like I learned a lot from that office and I'm so grateful because everything happens for a reason, you know? I would never take vacation. The thing is, like, me and my manager at the time, we ran the office. If I wasn't there, it was gonna be a shit show, deadass. Like, we just were like the main ones. So he felt like if we both weren't there, the office wasn't gonna run good. But that's not my motherfucking problem. But I listened to him. Like, one time, y'all, my family, my whole entire all went to Japan for 2 weeks. And guess who didn't go? Me. Don't piss me off, y'all. Don't piss me off. Because I know I'm a dumb bitch. Next, we're going to go in with this translucent powder. He said, nope, you ain't going. And he'd be a little baby and complain and shit, like whine. He's like, no, you're not going. You're not going. And yeah, I really didn't go. And I listened to this man. Like, I can't believe it. That's, you know, you want to know what? I really don't have a lot of regrets in life, but that was one. He would tell me, he'd be like, oh, no, you're not going, but I promise you, like, I will pay you for all the vacation you never took. Like, I'm going to pay you for those days. So instead of taking vacation, he was going to pay, like, put it on my paycheck or whatever. Keep this in mind, y'all. Hula bronzer. It was so terrible, y'all. We would constantly be hiring. Why? Because nobody would last there. They could not stand this. And I don't blame them. Like, I literally would side with them and be like, I get it, y'all. I get it. Do what you gotta do. They would, how bad this man was. We were never able to keep like a consistent staff. Everybody would quit. I don't know why the fuck I didn't, y'all. I'm gonna go in with blush. This is Neutrogena in the shade Coral. Go in with this nude all over my lid just to give me like a nude look, you know? So I'm working the front desk, y'all. And I see 2 cops pull up. Like, hello, officers, y'all got an appointment today? What's gonna help you? Are you guys checking in? And they're like, no, we're here for Dr. Basically, they were coming and I had no fucking choice. I said, can I get my manager? Hold on. Bitch, in the middle of motherfucking patients. They arrest this man. Can you not put me in handcuffs? Like, I don't want it to look like a certain way. I wish they would have handcuffed his ass. I wish. Like, of course he's getting arrested. He's a piece of shit, man. What could he have done? Like, everything was going through my mind at the time. I'm like, what did this man do? Like, I already knew he was a piece of shit, but goddamn, he's getting arrested. What's going on? They take his ass and I'm like, and the patients are all looking at me. I'm at the front desk. I'm like, I just work here, y'all. I don't know what the fuck is going on. You know, my manager goes, Carrie, he's not coming back. And I said, come again? What the fuck do I tell these people? And we just had to reschedule all the patients for the day. And turns out they took his ass to jail. He's using my little mini portable fan so I can dry my eyeliner. The last thing I'm gonna do is go in with my colorful palette and put blue on my lash line. So this man gets arrested, and I find out he gets arrested for abusing his wife in domestic violence in a public setting. I don't know, but that's fucking terrible, y'all. Like, what the fuck? Okay, so he gets arrested, y'all. He comes back into the office like nothing fucking happened, doesn't talk about it, nothing. And at this point, I'm like fed up. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't want to work for this motherfucker no more. Like, I remember at that time, right away, people start calling. They find this man's mugshot. It was posted everywhere, y'all. And I'm so fed up because I was literally telling my manager and them, and they were like, oh no, tell them it didn't happen, that it's not true. I was so pissed off. I'm like, no, I'm sorry, I'm not doing that. So I wasn't gonna lie like that. You got me fucked up. And was fighting for his life to remove this mugshot from the internet, y'all. Is my setting spray. Finally got the courage to quit this fucking job because that was my last fucking straw, y'all, right? Ended up securing a job. I decided that I want to get a job first, and then I'm gonna put my 2 weeks. I'm gonna do this shit privately. I'm not even gonna tell the manager. I'm gonna tell him myself, okay? Because I was comfortable with him at this point. I didn't give a fuck. I didn't even tell you guys this part, but this man loved my ass. He loved me so much, and I couldn't stand him for the fucking life of me. He's just a good worker, and like, I ran the fucking office with my manager. That's why. Basically, so I pull him to the room, and I'm like, hey, I just want to let you know that I'm putting in my 2 weeks notice. So I'm gonna need you to pay me the money you owe me for all the vacation I never took. This bitch laughs in my face and goes, you think I'm gonna pay you after you're leaving me? I'm not paying you shit. Literally, bitch, I'm laughing like that crazy laugh. I said, wait, so you're not gonna pay me the money that you motherfucking owe me because I never took vacation. I missed Japan. I literally was like, you know what? I'm fucking done. Fuck the 2 weeks. Fuck you. I went fat, walked out, went to my desk, grabbed off, never came back, never heard from me again. They called me maybe like 2 years ago begging for me back. They said, hey, he's asking if you'll work for him again. And you got me fucked up if you think I'm working for this motherfucker again. No, this is my final look. Thank you so much for getting ready with me and yapping it up with me, even though I did all the yapping. Bye, y'all.
Get ready with me while I talk about how I got cheated on by my boyfriend of 2 years, 2 days before my birthday. Basically, me and my boyfriend had been together since September of 2023. We never had any problems with disloyalty, and we basically both agreed that cheating was bad and it's like not a good thing to do to a person. One day in October, I checked his location and I noticed he wasn't in class. So I asked him, I was like, what's going on? Why aren't you in class? And he basically tells me that he had a long night and he was very tired. But basically, I get out of class and he tells me that when we get back to his place, we're gonna talk about it. I trusted him with my life. But when we get there, he basically tells me he was struggling with an addiction. Obviously, I was still hurt by it, but I thought it was something we could work through. So I spent the day just trying to reassure him that it was gonna be okay. I just wanted him to be honest with me. Fast forward to the next day, I'm walking to my bus to get to school. He tells me that he needs to talk to me more. He picks me up from campus and we drive to a park. When we get there, he lets me know that the night before he told me anything, more went on than just watching stuff. That basically he ended up hooking up with a stranger. I really didn't know what to say or do at the moment, but I could tell that he regretted it a lot and really wished that he hadn't done it. So I kept telling myself, like, you know, we could make it work. It was a one-off thing. But also I couldn't tell anybody about this because I didn't want anybody to tell me, oh, you need to leave him right now. And I also didn't want people thinking he was just a bad guy. So for a while, I pretty much told nobody about this and kept the pain all to myself while also trying to fix the situation and try to get through it. So pretty much for my birthday, I went to his house and I consoled him. I was in shock for a very long time and I couldn't process any of it. So I was like, okay, it's fine. We can stay in this relationship because I don't feel hurt. Then a month later, I did end up being in the hospital for 3 weeks. It was a very low point in my life, so I am sure you can imagine the shock that I felt when he visited me and told me that he had been micro cheating on me for the duration of our relationship. The details on that get pretty bad and I don't want to expose him, so I honestly just ended up feeling way sadder than I started. We kind of agreed to do couples therapy, but that really never ended up happening. The whole time I felt so much resentment for him, I just couldn't be nice or enjoy his company at all. But I was very scared of what would happen if we broke up. Like if my mental health would allow me to just like be okay without him and then like erase all the history that we had, or even just the fear of having to start over with somebody and experiencing the same thing or worse. We stuck together for a while and I think he was trying to make up for what he did, but it just like wasn't ever enough. Eventually it got to a point where I literally just couldn't function at all and I just felt like I was completely losing myself. I genuinely felt like I was dying. And I finally came to my senses and realized that if I cared about myself at all, then I have to leave. Once trust like that is broken, it's just like, it's almost irreversible. If you ever find yourself in a similar situation, just know it's super important to evaluate whether or not it's worth it to stay.
Trends that never should have existed. The no reaction trend, where you and your partner take something that the other person loves and destroy it right in front of them while they try not to react. I'm gonna be honest, I'm sure half of these are staged. But it's extremely toxic, and there is something so twisted about knowing your partner loves something and ruining it. The never mix trend. How very strange to think that it is bad to be mixed or to have different backgrounds in your family history. It is very weird to flex about having no other skin colors in your family lineage. It's possibly one of the weirdest trends I have ever seen, and whoever created it, why? Airbnb guest bashing. If you don't know what this is, basically Airbnb hosts will take videos of how their guests left the place and bash them on the internet for doing normal things like eating the snacks that the host left out for guests. This should genuinely go against some sort of privacy policy. If someone is paying to stay at a place that you host, you should expect them to use the place. The overconsumption trend. I could go on and on about this. It is okay to be a normal consumer and buy things that you want or like. But it seriously gets to a point when people are buying 5 of the same thing in different font and doing that with everything. Nobody needs 10 Owalas, and that's coming from someone who likes Owalas.
If I had $1 for every single time that I was called a catfish, I would be a fucking millionaire. And the funny thing about it is the people who call me catfishes are usually the most chopped motherfuckers in existence. Like, you can't get any bitches, so you're coming after me because you're mad that I get bitches and you don't. No shit, I don't look the same without makeup on. Obviously, you really think my fucking cheeks in real life are bright pussy pink? Like, what? The only thing that's pink on my body is my puh, but barely even that. Oh, but men prefer women who don't wear a lot of makeup. Men prefer a natural girl. Like, I don't give a fuck what men want. I'm not fucking wearing the makeup for them. I'm wearing the makeup for me because I think it's fun and because I like to do it. Hello? And to the pick me bitches who love to also call me a catfish, not just the guys, it's women too. Just know you're not better than me because you don't wear any makeup or because you wear less makeup than me. Because I can promise you I can still take your man regardless. So watch the fuck out, bitch. Yeah, different people do different makeup styles, and obviously, like, I go full coverage. I completely cover up my face. I like to do that. And it's not to like make myself look better so I can get a boyfriend or anything like that. It's just because that's what I like to do, and I'm not understanding what the fucking issue is. Like, what is the problem with me doing art on my face? People be acting like I'm some like hideous beast under my makeup, and honestly, maybe, but you ain't gotta tell me that. You know what I mean? I feel like makeup used to be fun, and like it was normalized to go out in a full glam, like especially in like 2016, 2017, 2018. But now that this whole new like clean girl aesthetic has taken over, it's just like everybody's getting called a fucking catfish if you wear makeup, and it's just like everybody's putting you down for wearing makeup, and I'm sick of this shit. And no, I'm not insecure for wearing a bunch of makeup. I feel like you're insecure because you're putting me down for wearing a bunch of makeup because I'm taking your man from you. Aha! I just feel like bitches be mad as fuck that they don't have the skills to do the type of makeup that I do and the type of makeup that we do, so they have to put us down for it. How about instead of hating, you take some tips from me so you can get better at your makeup, so you can get the attention that you very dearly crave. And to the men out there who love to call me a catfish, just know that I don't want your ugly chopped asses anyways. Even if I was the most chopped girl in existence, I still would not touch y'all with a 10-foot pole.
Fun fact about me, I've had like a really intense fear of getting kidnapped ever since like, I think it was like year 8 maybe, because basically I live about 5 minutes away from my school, yeah, secondary school, and in year 7 I used to walk to and from school every single day, 0 fucks given, like my skirt reached higher than my dreams, do you know what I mean? Like genuinely my biggest worry in year 7 was the seating plan, like would I be sat next to the best pal at the time? Who knows? So anyway, where I'm going with this is I used to be a confident baddie, walk to and from school every day, you know me, right? Now, I did actually used to have, like, the odd fear of it. Like, I didn't love doing it. Like, I used to get quite anxious, like, last lesson, thinking about having to walk home or whatever. But, like, it didn't faze me to the point of, like, I didn't ever consider not doing it. I just got on with it, me being the committed girly pop I am. Anyway, it all changed one fateful day when I was walking home from school, and I actually reckon it must have been about year 8, just judging by, because, like, another girl involved in this story is like was one of my best friends at the time, and I'm thinking the timeline and everything, it must have been around year 8, definitely before COVID, and I went into COVID in like March year 8, so it must have been the very start of year 8. Anyway, I was walking home. I'd say I probably got about 4 minutes away from the school. You couldn't see the school anymore, couldn't see like the traffic lights before the school, and basically I always knew I was halfway home when I got to this certain point, and I was literally just about to get there, right? So I couldn't have been that far from the school, but I was at that point where it would take me at least like 2 minutes to run home, but it would take me at least 3 minutes to run back to the school. So it's like that halfway point where it's starting to feel a bit like unsettled. So anyway, I'm walking home, I get to this point of the road, and then this guy in a white van, right? So not like a branded van, nothing like that, just the white van. So already my pulses are fucking racing. As a girl, you see a white van, instantly you're seeing the light. Like, I'm going into the light, like I'm saying my goodbye. So anyway, this white van drives past me and pokes his head so far out the window, I was actually worried he would dislocate his head from his shoulders. Like, he stared me down. He wasn't staring behind me, he wasn't looking at the houses, he was staring directly at me. I was not bugging out. But anyway, he doesn't stop the car totally, like, just pulls up slow enough to, like, peek his head around the window and then drives off, right? But drives off really, really slowly, right, up the road. At this point, I am literally feeling like I'm dead. I've, like, said my goodbyes. It's been nice. I've made it to year 8. Who would have thought I'd made it this far? I was like, it's fine. My time's gone. So then at this point, he drives past me and then pulls up further down the road, like on my side of the road, pulls up and then just sits there, right? Doesn't get out the car. So I'm like stood still. I've like frozen in place. I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Like, fuck that for a laugh. Am I walking past his car? Like, because if I walked past his car, I would have either had to go like round onto the road or like gone and been like trapped in the pavement. I was like, this is how every horror film starts. Like, I'm not doing it. So my only option at this point, my first instinct is to get on the phone to my best friend at the time, who lived like quite like I would say she lived like 10 minutes away from the school, so she got picked up every day. I called her and I was like, hun, you're gonna have to come and get me. Like, you and your father are going to have to pick me up in your vehicle because my safety is at risk. Bless her, they were like, we're turning round, we'll come now. Like, she was my saviour this day. So at this point I was like, look, I'm just going to start walking back towards the school. So I've not looked behind me, I'm just walking towards the school, and then like a few houses up, a delivery guy comes out of a house, like not out of a house, but like out of a driveway. So I'm like, oh my God, like a proper Royal Mail delivery guy. So I literally went straight up to him. Mind you, he was like a really old bloke. Like, he genuinely looked so confused and he looked scared for his safety. But the minute I saw him, because mind you, there was no fucker else on this road, which never happened because everyone walked that way after school. So it all just felt really weird. There was no one else on that road, barely any cars. Like, it was weird. It was like a ghost town. So that's why I was so scared. There was no one else around. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been so worried. So the minute I saw him, I was clinging on for life. So I was like, I'll go up to him. And I literally went up to him and I went, can I please stand with you? I feel like he's going to kidnap me. Word for word, right? Mind you, I'm still on the phone to my friend. She's literally laughing at this point, like, that I've gone up to a random man and gone, can I stand with you? He's looked at me, like, genuinely fearful of his life. But has he stood with me? Yes, he has. He just stood there. Like, we both stood there, didn't speak, stared into space. Like, it was really quite awkward. But honestly, big up to that guy because he stood with me. Anyway, about 5 minutes passed, the guy in the van still hadn't moved, right? Hadn't got out the car, nothing. Then I got in the car eventually with my friend. She came to where me and the man were. I got straight in the car. We then drove past him. The minute we drove past him, and I fuck you not, the minute we drove past him, he drove off. Didn't follow us, but he drove off. I swear to you, could have been the end. But anyway, it was probably really innocent. He's probably just an every guy, you know what I mean, trying to make ends meet. But you just never know. And, you know, women aren't the ones that set that system up. We're not the reason we are scared. So before we all come at me, I actually should be scared because it happens every fucking day. So let's not even talk about it. Anyway, but God bless that friend who saved me. And yeah, I've never walked anywhere on my own since. So love that.
When I was 23, I was talking to this guy who lived in Lagos and I really liked him. At this point, we had been talking for like a month and he asked me if I would come to Lagos to see him because obviously we had never seen each other in person. Of course, I said yes, and I knew that I had to tell my parents, like my mom. I knew I had to tell my mom because there was no way I was going to be going all the way to Lagos and not tell my mom, especially because this was going to be the first time I had been to Lagos since I had came to America when I was 9 years old. So there was no way I could go to Lagos and not tell my family. I knew immediately that I was going to have to tell my mom about it, and she was definitely going to have reservations and she was going to tell me not to do it. But I literally told her, I was like, I'm not asking for your permission. I'm going to do this. I just want to tell you because there's no way I could do this without telling you, type of thing. As you can imagine, it was like a whole thing. My mom was like, you shouldn't do this, da-da-da-da. But she ended up coming around and she wanted to like talk to him on the phone so she felt more comfortable. But like my family, they were really just like all worried that like this guy was gonna do something to me or like kidnap me or something, because you know, like kidnapping and using people for ritual is like a thing in Lagos. But I knew for a fact this guy wasn't gonna do anything to me. I knew he was safe. Like, he's like a public person, and not saying that just because he's a public person he wouldn't do anything to me, but I just knew this guy wasn't gonna do anything to me. Like, it wasn't that type of situation, you know? So he bought my ticket, and my older brother was actually worried that he was like a scammer and that he was gonna buy me one of those like scammy tickets, because apparently people in Nigeria do that where they'll buy somebody a ticket like in a scammy way, and then the person would like go to the airport and try to use the ticket and then they would get arrested. My brother was really worried about that. My brother was just worried that he was a scammer in general. Again, I knew this guy wasn't a scammer. My family, like, they were so funny like throughout this whole process. But like, I knew he wasn't a scammer. He has a business and it's like a really good, thriving business, and he makes money from his business. So he bought my ticket. This was during COVID. So I remember I had to take a COVID test before I could go on the plane. But when I got to the airport on the day of my flight, I couldn't get on the flight because I had taken my COVID test too early. So it was like outside of the window. So they absolutely could not let me on the plane. So I literally couldn't go that day. And then I like called him and let him know about it. And we basically had to like get another ticket, but I felt really bad. So I split the ticket with him. Again, this is my first time being in Nigeria since I was 9 years old. So there was no way I was going to go and like my family wouldn't know. My mom is the only one out of all her siblings that is in America. So like she has all her siblings live in Lagos. My family had to know because there was no way I was going to go and not see them. So of course I was going to see them and they were going to be picking me up for the airport. And my uncle was just like, there's no way he's letting me go with this guy until he actually like meets him. So I had to let my uncle meet him. So he came to my uncle's house and my uncle was like asking him all these questions, like, where did you go to school? Da, 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 where your family from? All this stuff. It was so awkward. All my cousins were there. Like, it was weird. And my uncle was asking him questions. He answered all the questions. And then after, mind you, actually, let me back up. When I first saw him, like when he got to my uncle's house, because he had to come and pick me up. When he got to my uncle's house, I came downstairs and I was like obviously really excited to see this guy I had been talking to for a month. And he was just so dry. Like he was trying to act all cool. Like he was just so dry. Like he wasn't excited to see me. Like it just wasn't given the guy I had been talking to for a month over the phone. Like you're excited. You should be more excited to see me. Like he just wasn't that enthusiastic. And I remember asking him like, are you not excited to see me? It was weird. Anyways, after that, we then went upstairs and then like he talked to my uncle. It was weird. On our way back to his place, because I lied to my family and told them that I was going to be staying at a hotel, but really I was going to be staying with him. This was BC, by the way, before Christ. But yeah, on our way to his house, we're talking about basically like my uncle grilling him and everything. And he basically told me he lied to my uncle. He lied to my uncle that he went to college. He didn't actually go to college. He lied about the college that he said that he went to. He was basically just lying to my uncle. That should have been a red flag right there, but I didn't think it was. Oh yeah, I also forget to mention that before I actually went to Lagos, like a couple days before was Valentine's Day, and I remember he hadn't like said anything to me or like happy Valentine's Day or anything like that, and we had a little like disagreement, and it was our first little disagreement before that. I'm giving you guys like the short form of the story. If I told you the whole thing, like it's actually very funny. But we had gotten into our like little disagreement before that. So I guess like his energy was off because of that. I was like, maybe that's why his energy's so off, because it was just so off. Like before like the whole little disagreement, like he was very like, you know, his energy was just a lot different. I don't know. It was kind of like a switch went off like with him. And I don't know. It was just weird. The whole time I was there, like he was just so, like he was acting like nonchalant, which was weird because like you literally bought 2 plane tickets for me to come here just for you to start acting all nonchalant and weird like you're too cool. I remember he had brought me to his store around his friends and he did not introduce me to anyone. Like he didn't like introduce me to his friends and say, hey, like this is, you know, so-and-so, like meet so-and-so. Never introduced me to his friends. Just had me there just like looking up, just being awkward. And then I remember there was one day Wizkid was supposed to come to his store. And I guess like Wizkid was taking a really long time and we were all kind of just like waiting around, like they were waiting for him. And then I'm just sitting there, like he's sitting next to me. And, you know, I remember this was like the only time that he was being like lovey-dovey with me. And he was like just being very touchy. And I remember being like, oh, wow. And now that I think about it, it's really because like his friends were there and maybe he was trying to like mark his territory. And it was like after the fact that my guy friend told me like, you know, guys in Lagos are really weird like that. Like he probably didn't introduce me to his friends because he didn't want his friends to try to talk to me, because apparently guys in Lagos will do that to each other. Like they'll try to talk to their friend's girl, which is really weird. But I just thought it was weird that he didn't introduce me to his friends. I found it so disrespectful. I was really offended by it. But anyway, yeah. So we're waiting around for Wizkid and like we're sitting there. Next thing I know, he like gets up to go somewhere. He doesn't tell me where he's going. Like an hour later, I'm like, what the heck? Like, where did he go? And I texted him. I was like, where did you go? He was like, I'm at Wizkid's house. I was like, what? You're at Wizkid's house? And you didn't tell me you were going? Like, you left me here with a bunch of your friends? Like, that's really weird. And I was like, why didn't you just bring me with you? Or why didn't you tell me? He was like, oh, he doesn't like a bunch of niggas around. When I tell y'all that pissed me clean off, like I was just so irritated. Not because I wanted to go to Whiskey's house, but because you left me here with all your friends. You didn't even say you were leaving. You just left me here. Like that's so weird and so rude. The whole time he was just so weird. He was so mean. I just hated his attitude. His attitude was so nasty. It was nothing like how he was over the phone. And at some point, like I think I was supposed to leave. I was supposed to leave like on a Monday. I left his house on a Friday morning when he went to the gym. I left. I think I had told him the night before that I was going to be leaving, but he probably thought I was just talking. I left, took my stuff, and went back to the mainland. I left. Like, who do you think you're playing with? And y'all, this was not just like a little, you know, I'm a hard girl. Like, I was really sad, and I thought it was just such a weird experience. Like, I was really like heartbroken in a way because I was like, why is this guy treating me this way? And I remember when I left that morning, he had called me when he realized that I was gone. He called me and he was like, so if we were married, you would just get up and leave like this? And I was like, we're not married though. And we wouldn't get married. We wouldn't even get to that point because you're weird. I was so heartbroken by this situation, not because I just liked him so much, but because I could not understand why this guy would bring me all the way over here just to act like this. Like, what was the reason? And I remember asking God, and I even like told him at some point, I feel like God wanted me here and you were just a vessel. So I'm gonna get over this. Like, that's literally what I told him. And that was absolutely true. Like, now in hindsight, I know that started something. Like, that started something in me. That actually started my relationship with God, because that had me so down that I had to just like seek God for real. In 2024, I went to Lagos with my family, and while I was out with some friends, I ran into him, and he was so shocked to see me. It was like he saw a ghost, but I wasn't shocked to see him because God had already shown me in a dream that I was gonna see him. Honestly, this story pops up in my mind a lot, and I still wonder why he acted that way. I still have no idea, and I probably will never know. But yeah, bye. The end.
Here are some actual unpopular opinions. And before I get into this video, just remember that these are just my opinions, okay? It's not the end of the world, and we are allowed to disagree with each other and still like each other. Number one, I think Love Island is kind of cringy and goofy as fuck. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just don't see the appeal of watching people fight over each other that they just fucking met. Like, what are we doing here? Like, why are we having mental breakdowns over a guy we literally met like 3 days ago? It just doesn't make any sense to me. I think it's so stupid. And then, like, it's also not entertaining. Like, I started watching like 10 minutes of it and I got bored. With shows like that, if you don't catch my attention in the first 10 minutes, I know the show's gonna be boring and I'm just not gonna watch it. But I kind of know the premise of it just because it's everywhere and everybody's constantly talking about it, and I just think it's so stupid. Next, I'm not a fan of Olivia Rodrigo. I feel like she's really mediocre. She gives me Taylor Swift knockoff vibes, but like she sings slightly better, except for the fact that she sings in cursive. Hate that. I don't know, she's on her, what, 3rd album already, and she still hasn't evolved as an artist. Like, we get it, girl, you're sad. Like, can we sing about something else? And on top of that, it's just like, I don't know, all the music kind of sounds the same. It's like, can we switch it up and do something different? Like, we're getting bored. Do you know what I mean? She is like the least versatile artist in existence. Like, she's allergic to being versatile. Next, I hate most TikTok trends. I think they're all really fucking stupid. Like, why are we over here raving about dot cakes? Like, literally, it's cake in a cup with fucking frosting and sprinkles. Oh my god, groundbreaking. Oh, we've never seen that before. Oh, it's so stupid. Like, I just don't get it. Or like, why are we eating butter with fucking icing? What are we doing with our lives? You know what? I'll give props to the butter one. At least that's something like thinking out of the box. Do you know what I mean? But like the dot cake one, come on, bro. That is so stupid. Next, I feel like overly brand safe influencers are so fucking boring and fake. Like, you money hungry whores are so allergic to being yourselves. Like, we know you were not this goody two shoes ass bitch. Like, come on, bro. Me personally, I like influencers that are very open and like to be themselves and like aren't scared to talk their shit and to like show their real personality. Like, why do you guys have to feel the need to like be this overly brand safe ass bitch? Like, you can still make good money without being like overly brand safe. Y'all are so fucking boring, and they're all the same. They all act the same. They all talk the same. They all make the same content. Like, it's okay to have a fucking personality. I'm so sorry, but like, I'm tired of saying it. I'm also tired of brands being overly picky. Like, oh my fucking god. Like, God forbid somebody has a personality. It's just like, ugh. And honestly, if you're sitting there raging because you think I'm talking about your favorite influencer, just know that I am, and I don't give a fuck.
Hi guys, get ready with me for work. Don't mind my outfit. I just realized how atrocious I look. OMG. But I'm gonna curl my hair today. Not like how I tried to curl it yesterday. Never trying that again. Wow. My hair never wants to actually part in the middle. I'm gonna pause my music because I posted on my story the other night. Oh, I had a story time for everyone. Also, today I'm gonna try to get my corner fixed. Basically, I was at this party the other night and there was no parents home. Obviously, people were drinking. I wasn't drinking just because, like, well, I don't want to. And so the cops show up and everyone starts freaking out because there's no parents home. There's alcohol literally everywhere. Obviously, everyone's like freaking out because they're underage drinking. Like, I don't know. It's not that deep. Just chill. The cops are there. Big deal. Whatever. So they turn all the lights off. Everyone's like upstairs freaking out. Everyone was like, they're gonna leave in like 30 minutes. There's nothing they can do. Well, turns out people parked their cars illegally on the street. So like they parked just the wrong way. That the cops used that as their excuse to like do something about no one coming outside. They were like, we're getting tow trucks to come out here. And they did. Long story short, I go outside because I'm sober. It's like 11:50. I need to go home because I have curfew. I leave when everyone was like, no one can leave. We're all going to get in trouble if anyone leaves. I leave because first off, I'm not doing anything wrong. And I have to go home. Like, I have a curfew. Okay. I walk outside and I guess everyone inside like freaks out that I went outside. I guess everyone like was getting so mad at me and was like, she's gonna get all of us in trouble, like blah blah blah. Oh my god, like that. I literally walk outside to the cops. All they asked me was for my name. I give them my ID. They were like, have you been drinking? Is someone here to pick you up? And I was like, I haven't been drinking. My car's over there. Like, I'm going home. I have a curfew. And they're like, okay, well, are you sure you haven't been drinking? And I was like, you can do whatever test, whatever you need to do. Like, I literally have not been drinking. I gave them my phone and email, and then the guy cop was like, I can tell you haven't been drinking, like, you're fine. But I guess this part is what made everyone mad at me, was the fact that the cops were like, before you go, we're gonna have you do something for us. And I was like, okay. Can't say no, like, what? They're like, we're gonna have you go up to the door and yell for like people to come down. All we need to do is make sure that people aren't dying. Like, the cops are there. There's underage drinking. They just have to make sure people aren't dying, because if they are, like, they're there, it's their responsibility. I don't know. I walk up to the door. Well, I guess the cops were falling right behind me. And I open the door and, like, go inside and tell people that they need to come down. Like, no one's in trouble. They just have to make sure no one's dying. No one listens to me. Everyone's freaking out. Like, guys, there's no need to be freaking out right now. I'm telling you, it's fine. Long story short, other people come outside and talk to the cop with me. Some of them were drinking, and they're like, see, like, thank you for being honest. Like, you're not in trouble. Whatever. And once they came out, then they tried to go inside to get more people to come out. No one else would come out. Then the cops told me I could go home, and I went home because, like I said, I have a curfew, and if I'm not home by that curfew, my mom gets mad. People thought I was snitching, and everyone in that house was mad at me. I didn't do anything wrong. I had to go home. So, actually, I was the reason no one's car got freaking towed. So, where's my thank you? Because when I was out there talking to the cops, and they were literally about to start towing cars because no one was coming outside, I was like, oh, I know parents are on the way to pick up cars, which was true. So they didn't tow the cars away. 10 minutes later, parents were there to pick up cars, and some picked up their kids. I don't even know why people are mad at me, because I didn't say anyone's name. All I did was give them my information and went to the door and told people to come downstairs, but no one came downstairs. Like, I didn't do anything wrong. So, don't know why people are mad at me. This is one of my favorite covers from Glee. This is way better than the actual song, guys, like, actually. I got my car stuff figured out. I don't work till 2:30 today. I got my birth control figured out as well, so I have to go pick up a prescription for that, which that reminds me to set an alarm. And all my friends leave in less than a week. I actually love Glee so much. Also, I can never get over how this was over Kurt. My thing is, for Disney Plus, like, if we're paying to use you, why is there ads every 2 seconds? Like, why do I have to pay more to have less ads and then even more to have no ads? I had to turn it up because I just love this. Okay, hair and makeup is done. That doesn't even look curled, bro. Okay, that's my get ready with me. And sorry, it was really all over the place from story time to Glee and Disney Plus subscription. I don't know.